Yeah, what's going on? I want to give you guys a brief clarification on this video, this tutorial series. I know a lot of us been having some issues with it, so let's get it. So let me navigate to the window real quick. So let me turn this down. I know a lot of us are being a little kind of confused about why his code looks a bit different than ours, and I'll tell you why. So you see that right there where it says namespace, class, static void main. So all this stuff kind of sets up the project, and it is saying important things, but for right now, we don't need to focus on it, but I can give you kind of a small overview. So using, that's saying that's kind of the stuff we'll be using for our code. So let's say like there's a bucket of code that we'll be pulling from, and that code is referenced by that system name. Namespace, that's just a way to organize stuff. Class, we'll learn more about classes in the future. Static void main, that's the main function. That's the main function this program is looking for to run. And the reason we don't need to explicitly say this in our own files, which I'll show, is because the .NET version that I had us all download uh, is able to imply. No, it already knows to put that stuff in there, so we don't have to put it in there explicitly. We don't have to type it out. So that's all that is. So if you were confused why this looks a bit different, he's just using an older version of .NET, and then he also probably wants to show this as well. But for right now, you don't need to. But if you want to, feel free to do so. But just know that the namespace name needs to be. Does it need to be? I think the namespace can be whatever, but I believe the class should be the same as the file name. So it should be program, and then this will be the same too. So yeah, I guess you can just make it all the same and it should run. If you run into any issues, just let me know. Feel free to look it up on the internet. But that is why you saw that uh, that mix match right there. But when we work in Unity, you will see it kind of a bit more like this. But for right now, it's really not necessary since you don't have to write it. So I'll just show VS Code for a second, and then we can move on. So this is my VS Code. And as you see, that information isn't there, but I can still say .NET run, and it'll still run. And I know he runs it a bit differently. He goes to run, start debugging. That's, that's just another style of doing it. I prefer this way, but it doesn't really matter. Whichever way you'd like to do it. So I think that's it. I mean, if this clarifies things, that's really good. Leave a plus. I mean, leave a thumbs up. But if you do have questions, just let me know. Or you can ask each other also. Thank you.